What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vivid Iceland. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you the 7 essential tips for your Icelandic road trip this summer. Now, of course, you know Iceland is a very beautiful country to drive around with a lot of scenic routes and stunning vistas that you don't want to miss out on. So before you hit the road, there are some things you should know about to make your trip as smooth and enjoyable as possible. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is to plan your route in advance. First and foremost, it is important to plan your route here in advance. This will ensure that you don't miss out on any of the must-see destinations along the way. You can, of course, use Google Maps or any other sort of, online resource that can help you plan your route and to give you, a bit of a sense of how long it will take to get from one place to the next. This is, of course, pretty obvious to anyone who uses the internet, but with the sheer number of natural wonders to see here in Iceland, it can certainly be a little bit overwhelming. But lucky for you, that's where I come in. If you do need any assistance in planning your travels around the island, you are more than welcome to get in touch via my website, of course, vividiceland.is. You probably know that already. Alternatively, you can DM me the word vivid to my Instagram or my new WhatsApp. And from there, I'll help you with your travel plans. Links and further information to this will, of course, be down below in the description. So also don't forget to check my extensive video library. That's, of course, why the channel exists. It'll give you an idea, of what to expect while traveling around this incredible island. Tip number 2 is to rent a 4x4 vehicle. I can certainly recommend renting one during your time here in Iceland, especially if you're planning an Icelandic road trip. So this is because many of the roads here in Iceland are unpaved and can be difficult to navigate without a sturdy vehicle. Additionally, having a 4x4 will give you the freedom to explore some of the more remote areas of the country, for example, the Highlands. And it's only during the summer months that the roads through the Icelandic Highlands are reopened, and a 4x4 vehicle is a must as you travel through these parts. I've made a few videos about the Highlands, which I'll link in the description below, and I'm going to put my favorite one now up in the top corner. Hopefully that's the right corner, otherwise it's in that corner over there. Now, also, for peace of mind, I can recommend opting for the full insurance, Casco insurance, as it's also known here in Iceland. This is basically because of the sudden weather changes you can expect in and around the country, especially if you go to some of the more remote regions. It can make driving, a little bit scary, a little bit hazardous at times, so it's always good to have that little bit extra coverage, just for your peace of mind. Tip number 3 is to pack for all weather conditions. Even during the summer months, you can expect pretty much anything: rain, hail, sleet, snow. It all happens during the summer months here, so I can highly recommend bringing stuff that will keep you warm and dry. So I'm talking, of course, a nice sort of Gore-Tex outer layer to keep you dry. I've got my Icelandic sweater, keeps me warm. Of course, thermal layers underneath are a must as well. And don't forget some good hiking boots, or even, waterproof boots, Wellingtons. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're also very, very handy. Now, I'll also mention there are a couple of good websites to keep your eyes on. I've spoken about these in some previous episodes. We, of course, have veður.is, which is the official website of the Icelandic Meteorological Office, and it's good for checking, of course, weather around the whole country. Next up, we have safetravel.is. It's pretty good to get updates about anything that's sort of happening around the country, whether it be weather, other things as well that could cause dramas with your travel plans. And finally, of course, road.is, a great resource to show you which roads are open, which roads are closed, in addition to any roads that may or may not have some, scary driving conditions. So bookmark these and make sure you use them for your Icelandic road trip this summer. Tip number 4 is bring a camera and extra batteries. Iceland is, of course, known for its stunning natural beauty, so you'll definitely want to capture as much of it as possible. Make sure you pack those extra batteries, or even a power bank, of course, so you don't miss out on any amazing photo opportunities on this island. Tip number 5, stock up on food, water, and gas. So yes, there are many small towns and villages along your road trip around Iceland, but they can be very few and far between at certain points. So make sure you're bringing enough food and water to last you for the duration of your trip. Also, shops tend to close a little bit early in some of the smaller villages around Iceland, so keep this in mind. Can't forget to mention as well that many of the gas stations here in the countryside are automated, so ensure that you have a credit or debit card with a PIN, otherwise fueling up might be a little bit difficult. Also, try to fuel up whenever you plan on leaving a town or a village, because the next gas station may be over 100 kilometers away. Tip number 6, know the speed limits. The speed limit on paved roads here in Iceland is 90 kilometers per hour, but on gravel roads it's 80 kilometers per hour. Additionally, some roads have lower speed limits due to their narrowness or other factors. Within towns or villages, it usually ranges between 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. So check on those road signs as you enter these towns and villages. But most importantly, drive to your ability. Many of the gravel or highland roads are not in a great condition, so speeding through that in a rental car can cause serious damage to the car and, of course, to your wallet. Trust me, I know from personal experience. Tip number 7 is respect nature and leave no trace. Iceland's natural beauty is fragile, and it's important to do our part to preserve it. This means, of course, packing out all of our trash, staying on designated trails, and avoid disturbing the wildlife. It's also illegal to drive off-road in Iceland, with fines exceeding a few $1,000s or euros if you get caught. So please stay on the road while traveling through the remote areas of the country. And so there you have it, my 7 essential tips for an Icelandic road trip this summer here in Iceland. I hope you found them helpful and that you have an amazing trip this summertime here in this magical island. Now, don't forget to, of course, get in touch with me over at my website, vividiceland.is. Alternatively, you can, of course, DM me the word vivid to my Instagram, to my WhatsApp. I'll put little QR codes here on the screen so you can scan them, get in touch, and I'm more than happy to help with any travel planning or itinerary services that you may need for your upcoming holiday here in Iceland. Of course, can't finish the video without saying like, subscribe for any further Icelandic travel tips and inspiration. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.